Hi, Jeff. Thanks for joining me.
Hey, Steve, thanks for having me again.
Good to have you. And some good news for retail property owners. Not so good necessarily for retailers, but retail is doing so well, they're getting rid of discounts. We're seeing store openings outpacing closures for the second straight year. We're seeing strong consumer spending at the start of 2024. Vacancies have fallen to 5.3. That's the lowest level since the metric was tracked in 2007 for shopping centers. Asking rents are up. So we got vacancies down, rents up, and we're seeing property owners having to not make concessions anymore to a lot of retailers. Just your thoughts as we've seen this sector really getting stronger, the retail sector.
I kind of feel like a broken record doing this, but I feel like there's a lot of information, in these videos that maybe is touched on, but not really drilled down. Retail properties to me says kind of more along the lines of your smaller, strip centers or larger strip centers. I tend to think that there's still quite a bit of struggling real estate related to malls and larger shopping type projects. But I think overall this is pretty good information. I think to a large degree, it's kind of like the office sector where you have employers telling people you've got to come back to the office. Well, this isn't really too dissimilar. It's retail owners or retail strip owners or property owners are now saying, look, we've given you as much time and leeway as possible. Now it's time you get back and right your own ship.
Yeah, I think you bring up an interesting point that a lot of people can relate to because I think there's a lot of people who maybe in driving distance, there's a retail center that is struggling. But there's several within driving distance that are bustling. It kind of goes to the old retail, I mean, real estate adage of what's the three most important things: location, location, location. The prime locations, the good locations, are doing really well. Retail, by and large, is doing well, but of course, not all retail is doing well.
Of course.
Yeah, but I think this is a positive story, and for folks that thought we were going to be in a recession by now, it just hasn't happened. And at some point there will be one, but right now the economy is doing well, the consumer is doing well, and retail properties are doing well.
Well, and add to it, I think you got to understand that retail property, ownership, management, and leases are dramatically different than what a lot of people understand anyway. Sometimes you do have you could have a higher price per square foot, but there's usually a shared income component of it as well. There's escalations that vary from property to property and don't just happen on an annual basis. Sometimes they're on a quarterly or semi-annual basis. So I don't think in my own personal mind, I guess I should say in my own personal mind, in my mind, that I think that I ever thought retail was really struggling. I think in a lot of ways, retail was, you know, some of those big retailers had a lot of brick and mortar that was causing them to struggle in opposition to having smaller footprints.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of the news here is that a lot of retail, especially when we look at those strip centers, we look at those open malls, we look at those mixed use properties, we look at the kind of newer footprints that are really kind of designed for the way people want to shop. They're
Yeah,
thriving. So I think that's the headline right now is the right type of properties in retail are really thriving right now.
that's right.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.
If you enjoy this video, give us a thumbs up, click subscribe, and feel free to throw some comments in. Thanks a lot,
Thanks,
Jeff.
Steve.